Been coming down here for a long time, just camping, hanging out, looking at the deer, the other wildlife. I've been putting in for a tag, an archery tag here for a long time. Haven't drawn it yet. Getting close enough I might draw it before I'm too old to draw a bow. We'll see. But in previous years all I've done is take still photos of the deer. I've never ever tried to do any video. Be sharing some of the still photos previous years here in the video. So this year I thought I'd try and get a little video just for fun. Not seeing as many deer as back in the good old days, not seeing near as many big buck as back in the good old days. I've only seen a couple of what I'd consider, decent buck in the last couple of days. The drought, prolonged, massive drought this area's been under for a long time now. It's really had an impact on the deer numbers, but it's been a pretty good wet summer this year. Range is looking a little bit better than it has in the last few years, but having a glorious time. The weather is just spectacular. It's been raining off and on, temps in the 60s, beautiful, pleasant. I'm having a great time. And there's, looks like 3 doe maybe. Haven't seen all their heads yet. There's at least one little buck, 2 little buck, 2 little buck and 2 does. Let's stand still. I'll just get him. Where's your granddad? I want to see your granddad. So anyway, there's still a few deer around, a few buck, and like I said, I'm just having a ball.
Gotta love it. Nothing but 100 degrees at home. No rain for not to speak of for all summer, basically. I'm loving this rain. Loving it.
In the still photos that I'm sharing here in the video from previous years, you may have noticed a doe hanging out in our camp. We first saw her and we named her Honey because one of her favorite things was honey oat granola bars. Anyway, we first saw her in 2012. She was kind of hanging around the edges of camp. And by the end of that trip, we didn't have her eaten out of our hand yet. We had her coming right up to us to get granola bars. The next year, in 2013, we pulled into that camp spot, that same camp spot, and Tim whistled and called out her name. And within just a couple minutes, she come prancing into camp, and she kind of hung out with us that whole weekend. And it wasn't long before Tim had her eaten out of his hand, literally. Pumpkin seeds and granola bars. She loved to lick the grease out of the stove, the camp stove. And she just hung out with us. We saw her again in 2014. Same deal. We didn't come down here. We didn't make a trip here in 2015. Came back in 2016. It had been 2 years since we'd seen Honey. Pulled into that camp spot. Tim whistled, called her name. A couple minutes, here she comes. She was a little bit skittish compared to previous years, but she still came right up to us. Took pumpkin seeds out of Tim's hand. She didn't hang around very long. She took off. Later that evening, she came back. And she had a doe or a fawn with her. We'd never seen her with a fawn. She didn't let her fawn come up to us, and she kind of stayed back a little bit. She'd get close, but wouldn't actually eat out of our hand while the fawn was there. She came back several more times that year, both alone and with the fawn. But she didn't hang around. Didn't hang out like she had before she became a mother. And That was the last time we saw her in August of 2016. So that's the story of our pet doe hunting.